Recently, my energy and attention has felt so dispersed and outside of myself in a way that feels intangible. I've been taking inventory of the things that have undoubtedly been draining me, and as a result of this observation, I am gathering my energy, gathering myself, and attempting to neutralize the foundation of my life, one closed loop at a time. This is the weather right now. It's hot as Satan's ballsack outside right now. On my drive home from work, thought to myself, wow, it would be nice to go to the beach. And then I thought, oh, I don't have time. I have stuff I have to do. Like this excuse, that excuse. And then I was like, I don't have to plan this. If I want to go, I can just go. So I called my friend, and we're going to go to the beach. It seems like the amount of time I have for myself in the day decreases the older I get. And as I sit down to make my weekly schedule, what's truly important to me always finds a way to surface. To put it lightly, I feel like I'm committing a crime against myself every second that I am not engaging in the activities that fulfill me. The two most prominent being spending time in nature and creating. So I relish in these moments of spontaneity where I listen to my desires and remind myself that the rules are in fact made up, and it is within my right, my duty to myself even, to break or change them at will. One of the things that I have been meaning to do for a very long time is do consignment for some of the clothes that I don't wear anymore. I did some consignment a few weeks ago at Thrift Pony. They took a lot, but they didn't take everything. So I'm going to go to Uptown Cheapskate to see if they're going to take some more of my clothes before I just donate the rest of the clothes that I don't want anymore.
Take it from an introverted piece of nothing. I could go on. But I'd rather keep my mouth shut. Conversations taken into misinterpretation.
My father ordered chicken, and he doesn't know I took this piece. I'm hungry and tired. I don't know what I was feeling earlier, but I'm not feeling it anymore. I did a little Instagram doom scrolls on current events. I kind of felt heavy and something was spilling out of my chest, but it was like oozing and like getting pulled out, and I started watching a Hitomi video, and then I really got the urge to paint. Before I started painting, I was thinking, I have to do something original. I have to make something from my own mind. That's not true. That's like not true at all. I feel like I've rarely ever given myself the opportunity, the freedom, without shame, to reference something, to emulate something. Because it's through emulation, especially in an unfamiliar medium, that I feel like I find the most creativity, the most explorative part of myself. Since the weather's been getting warmer, I have unintentionally left this yoga mat outside on the balcony, because sometimes when I feel like I've stared at a screen for a little too long, the yoga mat being down is less of a point of friction for me to come outside and lay down and close my eyes and feel the sun, the warmth of the sun on my face, and listen to the sound of the leaves blowing in the wind and the birds, I find myself being able to reset a little easier. I was feeling a little overwhelmed, and I really try to make a point to enjoy my consumption experiences, whether that is media, art, or food and drink. And part of making that experience for myself is drinking my coffee outside. So I thought, I obviously need a break. I'm gonna make coffee and we're just gonna sit outside, feel the sun. If a bug comes, I'll run because I have not yet built that relationship with nature where I can coexist comfortably with insects. I am so looking forward to the day where the sound of a bee buzzing in my ear does not send me running.
My friend from London and I have been in the practice of writing each other letters since our last year of college, and I'm always overjoyed when I come home to find a very cutely decorated letter left on my desk. I always try to read and respond with intention, and because the thought of my response had been in the making for 3 months, I'm so sorry, Jazz, I was feeling a bit overwhelmed at the prospect of starting. So much so that I didn't, and only perpetuated the thing I was trying to avoid. Eventually, I removed the self-made pressure and gave myself the permission to treat the response like a diary. Meeting myself where I was at, writing when I had time, and 3 writing sessions later, I finally finished my response.
I'm calling to express my concern about the Trump administration to oppose the repeal of regulations that protect our lands and wild. Thank you for your time and consideration. In an attempt to make more of a routine out of my activism, I have made sure to set an alarm so that I kind of have a regulated time as to when I call, because sometimes I would find that when I had the thought to call, it was during office hours, and the way I meet myself where I'm at with calling is by doing it when they're closed, so I don't actually have to speak to a person, I just leave a voicemail. And so by having an alarm set to do this specific task has made it a lot easier to have an external stimulus remind me, hey, do this thing, because it's important to me. It's just sometimes anxiety kind of does what anxiety does best. But today was my last work day of the work week. I'm currently experimenting with a new setup of my outside of work schedule where I get my chores done during the work week and instead save my hobby life for the days that I actually have off, and I feel really good. There's some stuff that I couldn't do because I don't know if you can tell, I'm recovering from a cold. I guess I felt inspired while I was sick to start crocheting, so I crocheted this bra top, and then I was like, it'd be cute to have a matching like mesh top to go over top of it, so I started making this. I'm like on the sleeve, and I don't think that I made the shirt wide enough. So this might just be a shirt that gets given to my mother. Another thing, I bought some oil pastels. This past year, I've been feeling really inspired to do more stuff that's more visual art. And so I took a drawing class, and that was kind of frustrating. I am very grateful for the experience because I feel like it did what it needed to do, and it got me to put a pencil on the paper, which I think was the biggest block I had. I was thinking about the end product so much, and thinking about the end product being good. When I really broke it down for myself, the most important part of drawing, of creating something, is to build a relationship with the thing that I'm creating and the moment that I'm experiencing.
Painted sky, we fell in love under sleepy eyes. was enchanted, I was.
That was probably the most fuss-free shampoo experience I've ever had in my entire life.
That's why I sought you so intimate.
Okay, so funny story. Just spilled coffee all over my Mac. And this was right before I have to leave for my hair appointment. I'm really trying my best not to freak out. This is the state of my computer right now. I turned it off, I flipped it upside down, and I have a little paper towel underneath to catch any coffee. Thankfully, I don't drink my coffee with any cream or sugar in it. Literally did this 2 weeks ago. That's just crazy to me. I literally spilled coffee everywhere 2 weeks ago. I learned my lesson then, but I thought, oh, I'm home. Like, I'm not sitting outside. I don't have to worry about bugs. I am the bug, clearly. I've been sitting out here for about 2 hours now. I journaled, drank some of my coffee, and started using my oil pastels, and it was so fun. It felt like oil pastels were like an adult crayon. I really wanted to draw something, but I was also afraid of messing it up because I'm unfamiliar with the medium. And I did my little swatches. First, I started following this video that explains color theory, and then did it applied with a few drawings, and she did fruit, so I also obviously did fruit. She did 6, so I'm gonna return to the video a little later. I can just feel my focus waning a little bit. Jabrea had sent in our group chat about how she wants an accountability partner for the things that she wants to do. And so I asked her, what does accountability look like for you? She feels uncomfortable being called out, but she knows that that uncomfortability is important for growth. Then that got me thinking about this post I had seen that said something along the lines of, the life that you want to live is on the opposite side of uncomfortability. And then I got to thinking about, okay, how have I made space for the life that I want to live? In a lot of ways, I am being an active participant in cultivating my dream reality right now. But there are also ways in which I have made space for other things that are not as important, not as fulfilling to me. For example, I feel like I make a lot of time to read comics, or I make a lot of time to scroll on Pinterest, but I don't make the same amount of time or effort to dance or to make art, which are arguably more important to me than scrolling on Pinterest. And there's a lot to be said about that in terms of kind of the ease in which you can experience dopamine from either activities. I find that I fall more towards the things that are easy, and I don't think I'm the only one that does that. I really love this phrase from a nutritionist: what can you add to, not subtract? If you start filling your life more with the things that are in alignment with the kind of life that you actually want to live, then the space for the things that are not in alignment, it decreases, obviously, because then you've exceeded the capacity. And so I'm trying to think of it that way instead of thinking of it in a way where I want to spend less time on Pinterest, but more I want to spend more time dancing. I want to spend more time creating. I want to spend more time outside. And I feel like for me, that's an easier way to approach or actively participating in the materialization of my dream reality right now. We're at the nature preserve.